Good morning. My name is Andrew Morgan. I am chair of the 7th Circuit JNC. We are here today conducting interviews for the county court vacancy here in Volusia County. You've applied, and I want to start by asking you to explain to the commissioners, introduce yourself, and tell us why you want to be a county court judge.
Absolutely. My name is James Disinger. Good to see you all in person, most of you. The reason I would like to be county court judge is it is what I have always wanted to do in my career. I have been a member of the bar for almost 20 years. My 20-year anniversary is coming up in April. And in that time, I have been a prosecutor, I've been a private defense attorney, I've been a assistant regional counsel, and I've represented indigent clients in Volusia and Flagler County. And it's all of those jobs I've always focused on gaining experience and working towards trying to be a judge. So, and if I were to be appointed, then I would work hard every day for the citizens of Volusia County. I have lived here for almost 20 years, not including the 4 years that I went to college at Stetson University in DeLand. My wife is a teacher in the Volusia County schools system. Our kids go to Volusia County schools. I'm actually a new coach at the DeLand High School for the beach volleyball team, so I'm committed to the community. And I think that my experience, my life experience, my work experience would be an asset to the county bench. The county court position in particular is appealing to me. It's a very busy court, it's an interactive court. It's, a lot of people describe it as the people's court. And I think I have a good reputation, a good demeanor to have that interaction with not only counsel, but also pro se litigants. I've got almost 20 years of experience working in various courtrooms. And I think that my life experience, my work experience, and my commitment to the community of Volusia County would make me an asset to the county bench.
What about your experience in county court? What does that entail?
I started in Vero Beach I started as an intern when I was in law school in the county court in Sarasota. I was there for about a year. I was there for about a year, and then my first job was in Vero Beach as a misdemeanor prosecutor. That's where I was sworn in. So I was there for about a year. I then came to Seminole County, and I was a county court prosecutor again in Seminole County for about a year before I moved to felony. So about 3 years total in county court. But I also have handled some small claims cases when I was doing private practice. And so that's generally my experience in county court is either as a misdemeanor prosecutor or a small claims matters.
Thank you.
What about other civil experience?
The civil experience that I have is somewhat limited. Usually civil cases that I'm involved in are somehow connected to criminal cases. Over the past several years, I've been involved in several risk protection order hearings, several injunction hearings. So those are kind of limited in scope, and they don't go into the depth that a normal civil case would go into. But if I were to be appointed, I understand that it would likely be a civil position. I would certainly dedicate myself to learning what I needed to learn very quickly to get up to speed, on day one. But that is the experience as far as civil work.
You have a preference between county and circuit? I mean, I see you obviously have a tremendous amount of trial experience.
Right. I actually would prefer county. I know that there was a circuit position that opened up recently, and part of that, my preference to be a county court judge, judge that swore me in, David Morgan. He's recently retired. He's an Indian River County judge. I believe he served just over 20 years on the bench. Before he swore me in, he and I spoke about being a judge, and he said it was the greatest job in the world. He really thought that his direct involvement in the community, being able to be a part of the community and stay as a county court judge, was where he served his community the best. And I had the same feeling. I've spoken to a lot of judges, and a lot of them have a similar mindset. So I do think that wherever your aspirations lie, if you wanted to be a circuit judge, certainly that would be fine. But I also think that there's a need for someone who wants to be a county court judge and is dedicated to that position to take it until the county.
Can you elaborate a little on your community involvement? Because I know I just filled out a job thing for you to take this new gig. Can you just elaborate a bit?
Sure. Well, as far as community involvement, since I met with you last, I believe I was a prospective member of the DeLand Rotary Club when we met last time, and I have now been involved for about a year and a half. I've been involved in 4 or 5 different projects with the Rotary Club. Most recently, it was the Florida in February barbecue contest. I'll put a little plug out there for that. It's a little nod to our friends at Memphis in May, but it's going to be a barbecue contest that we do every year, and I was one of the committee members of that, and we've raised a substantial amount of money. Hopefully it will be an annual event, but I've just sort of gotten involved in that aspect of Rotary, which is, it's been great. The high school coaching job application, the DeLand High School has started a beach volleyball program. It is the first year that it is actually beach volleyball is a sanctioned sport by the state of Florida. And so the high school was looking for coaches that had beach volleyball experience, which I do. My daughter happens to play, so I volunteered to be the beach volleyball coach. And I had to go through a hiring process with the state of Florida and get references. I actually thought it was rather funny that I had a doctorate, a Juris Doctorate, but they wanted my high school diploma and they wanted my last work experience. So I reached out to Mr. Reed and I said, hey, would you mind putting this down as my supervisor for my last job? So he was happy to do that. So that's the beach volleyball program that I'm currently working on.
This Disinger, at some point you're going to have to run for election. Can you tell us about when we can look at that? What would be your approach? And try to be as detailed as possible.
Absolutely. Well, in a county court position, certainly I would reach out to the contacts that I have made, not only in my years of living here, but also in the past year and a half at the Rotary Club. The amount of contacts in that club is astounding to me, and they are people not only in DeLand, but also all over the entire county. So there are judges that are in the club, there are business people that it's amazing the depth of contacts would be in that club. I would certainly reach out to other judges that have run campaigns, especially ones that have just been appointed and they have to run, what their strategies were, and I would seek all the advice and the help that I can get in that type of endeavor.
You use a word when you refer to what you think judges need to be, and respectful was one that one comes close. You said be kind.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on it?
I have been in front of a lot of judges in my career, and I have seen judges who use their power on the bench or their position on the bench, and they talk down to people that are in the courtroom. And I don't think there's a need for that necessarily. There's certain need to control the courtroom, but there's a kindness that needs to go along with being a judge, where your job is to control the courtroom, make sure the justice system flows as it needs to, but there's no need to be rude, there's no need to be condescending, and unfortunately I've seen that, and it has always stuck with me in my many years. A lot of it happened in Seminole County, and there's some judges that are no longer on the bench, but that has always stuck with me, that those judges didn't need to do that. And the odd thing was, when they get off the bench, they were not that way. So for some reason, when they got on the bench, they acted that way, and a lot of times it was to pro se litigants. So just trying to scare them, I'm not sure why, but it was something that always stuck with me.
Question for you. You've been on both sides of the coin in criminal cases,
Yes.
prosecutor and defense. Has that experience helped you in becoming or being ready to be a judge, and if so, how?
I think so. I think if you understand both sides of a case or a position in the courtroom, I think it's easier for you to be a judge. I think it's easier to understand one if you have been the other. I always thought that being a defense attorney, my evidence professor in Stetson, Stephen Everhart, told me, if you want to be a good prosecutor, be a defense attorney. If you want to be a good defense attorney, be a prosecutor. Know both sides and get your experience. And I think when you become a judge, you step out of the role of the litigant and you become the referee. And so understanding both sides and understanding the thought processes from both sides, I think is very helpful.
I saw that you received a pro bono service recognition award from the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And it's been a while.
Yes.
Can you tell me how that was achieved?
Sure. That was with the teen court program in DeLand. I don't remember exactly how many hours I did, but it was quite a few. And unbeknownst to me, the program coordinator submitted that to the Supreme Court, and then I received the award for my volunteer hours.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you for coming this
Thank you.
morning. I'll finish with the same question I ask everybody. You will be called at the end of the day. There is a phone number that ends in 15. Is that going to be the best number to reach you?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.